Hello from Epcot. So I'm at Epcot tonight because it's in between festivals. So the Flower and Garden Festival concluded July 5th and the Food and Wine Festival starts July 15th. So it's that awkward in-between time where really nothing's going on at Epcot. So I wanted to come to Epcot to eat some food and maybe drink a drink or two and ride some rides, potentially just enjoy Epcot when there's not a food festival going on. That's why I started the video right over there, and one of the most notable differences is this, the center planter directly in front of Spaceship Earth. There's nothing really going on. Right now there are no topiaries here, no big sign announcing the festival that's currently going on. It's just a planter. It's a little bit windy right now, but other than that, it doesn't seem like the weather is going to majorly impact my experience tonight. So what I'm gonna do, because I've talked about it, is head over to Test Track. Because I've talked about riding that, and I definitely want to do it at some point. It's been so long since I've done it. Spaceship Earth is definitely an option as well, but if it does start to rain, which it probably will, knowing my luck, then I want to try to do the outdoor attractions first, which is going to be Test Track. Test Track is currently open as of right now, and it's only posting a 45-minute wait, and I'm pretty positive that they're also doing a single rider as well, I think. Those are some pretty dark clouds back there behind Spaceship Earth, but I checked and there is a single rider line, and it's only posting a 10-minute wait for Test Track. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna finally ride Test Track, weather permitting. This is pretty different comparatively to the past few times I was here. The extensive outdoor queue for Test Track. It's pretty quiet over here right now, but here I go, heading into the single rider line right over there on the left. Okay, so they just made an announcement about inclement weather approaching the area, so hopefully that doesn't really impact me. I'm hoping this line is relatively quick enough where I can get inside and get into a car. It looks pretty good so far. Man, it's been a while since I've done this. Okay, so I literally walked to this point right here in the line. This is where I stopped, which is the low platform for Test Track. So I'm gonna get on in like 5 minutes or less. Yep, that took all of about 5 minutes. And here I go, getting into my little car. There it is, Space 220, opening at some point. Alright, so I just got off of Test Track. I just filmed the end of the ride, pretty much, because, again, I have not done that ride in a very long time, so it's just fun just to get to experience it, and just, I don't know, just kind of film me in there and see the progress of Space 220. So it's actually kind of interesting because I am currently searching for and looking to purchase a new car, so this was a very relevant ride to experience, but I got to do it, which I'm really happy about because it does look like the weather is really getting pretty close. So I came out of the gift shop way over there, and I was going to head into the World Showcase, but I actually want to go check out the progress on in Space 220, at least from this side of Test Track. This is the single rider line right here, which is still a 10-minute wait, which it legitimately was a 10-minute wait, which is awesome. There is Space 220, which is just a green building, the entrance to which I think is going to be right over here by Mission Space. And here I am, Mission Space, a ride that I do not go to very often at all. I have never done the orange mission. I have done the green mission, but I actually have not done it since they updated it, so I need to rectify that at some point, hopefully pretty soon. So the orange mission is the Mars mission, and then the green mission is the Earth mission. But I think that this is going to be the entrance to Space 220. Not totally sure, but probably. So I'm definitely gonna come back and do that. I promised Brennan that she's gonna be the one that I do the orange mission with, so I'm gonna have to do that at some point very soon, hopefully. All right, heading into the World Showcase right now. There's a lot going on over here on the other side of Test Track. I don't know if this is tearing down from the Flower and Garden Festival or setting up for the Food and Wine Festival, but there's probably a good amount of this going on right now at Epcot in between festivals. This is pretty interesting. The flower quilt for the Flower and Garden Festival is still here. A few days after the festival has concluded, so they're probably going to take this out and coming days, I would assume. So I want to head this direction, and then I do want to head back into the Epcot experience because heading over to Space 220 made me think about something that I wanted to talk about the last time that Brendan and I came here, but did not. And this is what the planter looks like heading into the World Showcase. Nothing incredibly spectacular here. This is why it's interesting to come in between festivals, because nowadays that time in between the festivals is so not a lot of time. That was articulate, but it's cool to see, I guess, what it looks like. The flower quilt is on the other side as well, over by the Imagination Pavilion. So that's pretty cool. You know what's really interesting is on my way into the park over behind Spaceship Earth, I kept on hearing sounds from the monorail beam as if the monorail was about to come, which I know it's not. They're not running the monorail right now between the TTC and Epcot. But it felt like it was about to just come around the corner with the sounds that I was hearing, and maybe they're going to open it back up at some point. I imagine that they will, but I don't know, it was just a little bit eerie and kind of sad. During a festival, usually this area will have either topiaries or a sign showcasing the current festival going on at Epcot, but right now, in between festivals, nothing really going on here. So it's pretty cool to see this, how it is right here, back over there, and then at the entrance of Epcot are going to be the main areas where they would advertise the festival going on. It looks like they have a majority of the booths set up for food and wine for next week, so that's pretty exciting. Okay, I'm gonna head over to the Epcot experience. This isn't like a massive revelation, but it's just something that I noticed last time that I forgot to talk about, which I thought was interesting. Okay, inside the Epcot experience, look at all of these awesome, massive, oversized posters on the wall of the various attractions and pavilions inside of Epcot, the countries represented. So what I wanted to talk about is right back here on this massive wall map. So this is the massive concept art of the future of Epcot, and I made it a little bit brighter so you can actually see because it's very dark back here. But what I thought was interesting, which I was reminded of by going over to actually look at Space 220, is this right here. So this is the elevator that will allegedly take you to Space 220, which is 220 miles into space, which I think a legitimate actual elevator is a little bit comical that an elevator like that could actually exist that could take you all the way up through the atmosphere and into space. I just find that very, very almost comical and interesting. Can that actually happen? This being tethered to a space station restaurant in space, that seems like a bit of a hazard, doesn't it? Alright, it's time to head into the World Showcase. Now here are a few more posters over on this side of the Epcot experience. This is honestly just really, really awesome. And I would absolutely love to get like a calendar with all of these on them. So honestly, I can't tell if it's because of the weather or because of the fact that there's no festival going on right now, but it is pretty quiet in Epcot right now, and the fireworks did return. Epcot Forever did come back. It came back the same day as Happily Ever After. I don't think I'm going to watch it tonight. I'm probably going to come back with Brennan at some point to watch it in the future. So it should be a little bit busier than it is, right? Okay, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go inside the Mexico Pavilion and ride the Grand Fiesta Tour. Pretty similar to Test Track. I kept on saying that I was going to come back and do this at some points, and now I'm going to do it. I'm going to go ahead and head inside and get in line, see if they still have the plexiglass in the queue for Grand Fiesta Tour. Alright, so I'm in line for the Grand Fiesta Tour, which extended a little bit back there, but it's moving pretty steadily. Seems pretty popular, but I think that they're loading every single row for this right now. One of these days, hopefully, I'll be able to eat here with Brendan at the San Angel restaurant here inside the Mexico Pavilion, so I can totally see that they still have the dividers right there, which is kind of interesting because there's a bit of a cluster back and forth right outside the entrance. I do wonder when they're going to take these barriers down, because they're down in some rides, but then not in others, so it's kind of interesting. That is definitely the tightest, most uncomfortable line probably right now, but breezed through it. Just took a couple minutes and I'm at the loading platform. Alright, so I got on my boat and I am in the front row somehow, which is really nice after being in the back row of Test Track. This is cool. This ride has always been so peaceful and relaxing, and it always has a pretty low wait time, which is great. Okay, so after this I'm definitely going to grab some dinner somewhere depending on what's open. Hopefully I can try to find a quick service window that's going to be open a little bit later in the day. It's almost 6:30 right now, I think. Okay, so the finale up here for a little while. The animatronics of Jose, Panchito, and Donald were not here. They were just plants. I think that they're back now, though. Okay, so there they are. They are back. Never got to see them not being here, but it's also cool to see. Alright, I did it. I rode the Grand Fiesta tour. It took just a couple minutes to get on, and it was absolutely worth it because that ride is just so enjoyable and relaxing. But right now, I'm heading back out and head over to Germany. I did not record it because it was over my shoulder for the most part after I'd passed them, but the animatronics seemed like they were a little bit more animated. I was actually really impressed by them. They were very, very fluid, and I don't remember them being that animated last time. So what I did is I put in a mobile order over at Summerfest, which is the quick service window, which is right next to Oktoberfest over in Germany, and I got the bratwurst, and then I got a beer. I got a German beer, and I'll go over more of that once I get there, I guess, and actually pick them up. So it still looks like it really wants to rain right now, but I did check the radar, and it was not supposed to, so I did not bring an umbrella. So heading over to Germany, and then I think I'm gonna head to France to grab some desserts over in France. Just doing a lot at Epcot today that I haven't done in a while. I'm pretty glad that that list does not include Frozen Ever After, because this is a pretty long, non-socially or physically distant line, so that's probably a pretty long wait time, but I did get to do that pretty recently, so I'm happy about that. It's a little bit easier to see how dark the sky is back there. Something that I was thinking about pretty recently is that it's going to be really interesting when I reflect back about really the past year. It's just how much of the experience that is never going to happen again am I going to remember. Like the fact that there was a queue here in China for Frozen Ever After. That's going to be really interesting to really think about in the future, I think. So the Summerfest window is right inside Germany, like I said, next to the Oktoberfest restaurant, which is pretty much in the back of Germany. I do have a lot of memories here with my friends and haven't come here a lot since, so I wanted to eat here and Via Napoli, that quick service window I really want to try out. All right, so I just tapped on my phone that I was here at Summerfest, and my order was pretty much instantly ready. So if you do mobile order, be careful about how soon you say that you're here for your orders, because it could be pretty quick when it's ready. Okay, that's the Beer Garden restaurant, but Oktoberfest going on at the Beer Garden restaurant. I'm heading right around the corner to pick up my wiener. There's the Beer Garden right over there. This window is the Summerfest, and here's my beer and my dinner that I got myself, which I'm probably going to take out by the water. Okay, so I found a table all to myself over by the water. So I got the bratwurst, which is served on a freshly baked roll with sauerkraut and house-made paprika chips. And then this is a beer. I usually get the grapefruit Schafferhofer Hefeweizen beer, but I decided to try something new. So this is the Warsteiner Dunkel, which is a 16-ounce draft from Germany, and it's actually really nice. It says it's a classic German-style dark Pilsner that has a deep chestnut brown hue with a smooth, toasty malt flavor and mocha aromas, which I agree with, and it tastes fantastic. It is so smooth. I love these kinds of darker beers. I'm not crazy about IPAs, the more bitter that they are. Not really a fan, but this is fantastic. Okay, so I just finished my bratwurst way down there, and I'm gonna go ahead and continue on into Italy now, but it looks like the weather is holding out for me today, which is incredible. It looks absolutely and feels phenomenal right now, so I do not think it's gonna rain today, which is great because I really thought it was going to earlier. That bratwurst and beer was a fantastic combination. I feel so incredibly satisfied and a little bit nostalgic of coming back here back in the day. Honestly, it was really nice. All right, so out of curiosity, I'm gonna head back into the Italy pavilion just to see if the Via Napoli quick service window is open and just see what kind of options that they have, because I am curious, and I didn't regret coming back here, but this is the one place that I actually have never been, so I definitely really need to come back here, way back there in the back. So this is the menu for Via Napoli, which is currently closed. I think it closed about an hour ago, but over here, this is the window for Pizza al Taglio, which is where they would be serving the quick service pizza right over here, which is currently closed. And when I looked it up, it seemed like a pretty seasonal offering. So I don't even know when I could actually order some pizza here. It seems like a very situational luck circumstance. So this is somewhat of a stupid thing to be proud of, but I'm pretty positive I know where every single bathroom is, at least in the main Walt Disney World parks. And this looks like it would be a bathroom back over here, but it is not. This is just a seating area for the Pizza al Taglio right here, which is pretty interesting. Okay, heading back into the showcase. Okay, maybe not every bathroom, but at least the majority of the ones that are accessible by the general public in the major theme parks, I guess. It is so beautiful right now, and I am so pleasantly surprised. I thought I was gonna get rained out for sure. I didn't even think I was gonna get on a test track, and then I did. And then I was hesitant to get in line for a Grand Fiesta tour, and then I did, and then it was a minimal wait, and then I got the food that I really wanted to get at Germany when I thought that window was gonna close a lot sooner than I was gonna be able to get there by. I've just had such a good time, and I still have one more stop to go over in France. I'm not sure what I'm gonna be getting from France, but they have a vast amount of desserts to choose from, that's for sure, and I'm probably gonna bring back something for Brennan or to share with her because she loves her France desserts. So I came over to the store in Japan, and there are 3 booster boxes here, the 3 most recent releases for Pokemon, and that's really cool. I know it's not very exciting at all for somebody who watches that really is more about theme parks, but for myself as a secondary side hobby in addition to theme parks, that's neat because Pokemon has gotten really, really popular recently. It's been very hard to actually get Pokemon cards, and to see it back on the shelves, it's really neat. You just have to pay a premium of about $125 to get into Epcot to be able to purchase them, but there they are. So it's actually a pretty big deal, a very big deal, honestly, is that this year Pokemon celebrates its 25th anniversary and Walt Disney World celebrates its 50th anniversary, both around October. So that is going to be a very exciting and occupied month for myself. So it looks like they completed the construction they were working on here in Morocco because the whole pavilion is now open and accessible. I don't really remember what it used to look like before they put up the construction planters, but this is what it looks like now. It looks nice. I was considering stopping inside the Spice Road table to grab a drink in here because I haven't been in here in a while, but this is one of the places that Brendan and I we come here together. It's kind of a special place. I'll have to come back here with her at some point in the future and grab a drink at the bar inside right there. Okay, I made it to France for my final culinary stop of the evening, probably my final stop as well, which is going to be right back there. Okay, heading inside for some delicious, delightful pastries, potentially some macarons and other yummy little snacks as well. Well, myself and a couple other people as well, so hopefully this line moves relatively quickly so I could get my little snacks. So I think it's probably because a good amount of the quick service locations have closed for the evening, which is why this one's probably a little bit busier than it would be otherwise. A lot of places close at 8 o'clock and it's a little bit after 8 now, so this is where everybody's going. Okay, I'm getting pretty close in about 10 to 15 minutes so far, so hopefully just another maybe 10 minutes before I can get into the counter and get some desserts. So that took about 40 minutes. The line is all the way past the door right now, but I finally got my desserts. Plural, I got a couple different desserts here. I don't know what it is, but the lines for pretty much everything right now are pretty long. So what I ended up getting, like I said, I got a couple different desserts, and I hope this doesn't fall off. I got the framboise, which is I believe a raspberry chocolate mousse. And then I got what I generally love to get, this macaron, this raspberry and lime cream macaron. So it's pretty much dark now. So what I'm gonna do, also I'm starting to feel some raindrops, which is not good. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my desserts and head on back to the car and bring them back home to enjoy them with Brennan, hopefully before it actually does start to rain. So now the goal is gonna be to just get out of Epcot, back to the car before it actually does start to rain. I don't know if this is gonna be a subtle mist or just the calm before the literal storm. I'm excited to come back in just about a week for the opening of the Food and Wine Festival. Once all these booths actually open up, I was able to get a reservation for opening day of the Food and Wine Festival, which is gonna be fun. One of these days, the monorail will hopefully be back, bringing us in between the Magic Kingdom, the TTC, and Epcot. That'll be a nice day, and I'm excited for when it happens. I am also excited for the new Moana attraction that's being built right behind these walls where Innoventions used to be. I'm definitely hesitant, just it being another intellectual property like Guardians of the Galaxy that's coming to Epcot that feels a little bit different, I suppose, but I'm optimistic for it. I use that word a lot, but I really am optimistic about how they're going to incorporate these stories into the premise of what Epcot is. I'm also very optimistic about not having to walk around the entirety of the park just to get into the World Showcase, that's for sure. Alright, so I started the video over on the other side of the Epcot entrance, so I'm going to end it right over here. This is very cool lighting. That was my trip to Epcot in between the Flower and Garden and the Food and Wine Festival, which is going to be starting next week, which I am going to be coming back for. It's always a little bit sad to go to the parks by myself. I've been doing it a long time, and I always have an incredible time doing it, but I wish that Brennan was here, which is why I'm bringing her back some treats. She worked a long day today. But as for my trip today, it was a blast. I got some food that I haven't had in a while, and a beer that I don't think that I've ever had. I got some little sweets there at the end. I got to ride a couple rides that I haven't ridden in a while, and it was a blast. And I even did it technically right after a storm, hurricane/tropical storm Elsa, which made landfall last night, early this morning. It was a little bit of a different environment at Epcot, but also didn't seem like it really impacted it that much. But I had a great day. I did not get rained on, other than a little bit of a drizzle right there at the end. I don't think it's going to rain by the time that I make it in my car, so that is awesome. But thank you for hanging out with me today. I had a great time. I'll see you soon. Have a great day, and goodbye.